Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to How to Canon episode 4. And as you guys see by the title, today I will be covering reverse hybrids. Because a lot of people seem to probably overcomplicate the way they work. It's honestly incredibly simple. I astounded myself when I finally figured it out. Well, and by finally, I mean it took me about like 2 tries to actually get one to work. Uh, it's that simple. I know I've been doing this for a while, but even if you're like a semi decent canner, you should be able to do this fairly easily. All right, so this is my like Y90 to like one Y110 ish reverse hybrid just for normal bases. And basically the way they work, if you got a little glimpse of the barrel there, you'll see that you just put your slab bust on a upwards guider, as in just trap doors. Like if you're using a lean or something to reverse, this is usually what you would do with your guider. So you put trap doors there, so they're below the hammer, and the hammer pushes out and is actually up on this block, and the slab bust is way down here. They go out, the slab bust reverses, hammer goes up. But alright, now the timings on the hammer, it's actually very easy to do this. So wire your slab bust with repeaters, not comparators, and put it on 4 or 5 ticks. Yeah, 4 or 5 ticks is probably good. And then have your hammer go off 4 or 5 ticks after. So that's actually on 5 ticks, and my hammer's actually on 10 ticks. Now I only have like half of this hammer activated. This other half is completely useless. It's just here so it doesn't look retarded. You guys see there? Oh, or else you'd just be wasting TNT. Alright, but anyways, yeah, that's basically how they work. And the reason that works is, well, think about a normal cannon, alright? So your hammer would be on probably 3 or 4 ticks, never 5 ticks. I don't think a normal cannon can stack with 5 ticks. So it shoots, and as soon as it hit the reason it's on those low ticks, like 4 or 3, is as soon as it hits the wall, the second it reaches this block, due to the amount of power that could really be at any stage, it will explode. It won't droop down. It won't, it'll just explode. So that initial explosion, where it stays in place with a 4-tick hammer, would be like right here-ish. With a 3-tick hammer, it'd be up in this block. Because even a 4-tick hammer droops down a bit. Anyway, so it stacks, hybrids, etc. Same logic here with the reverse hybrid. As soon as that hammer reaches the roof, it's going to explode, stack, and hybrid. Of course, you do just have the same one-shot, same red sand you would. Of course, you don't want like a scatter. Actually, I could see some use in the large scatter one-shot to take down the sand stack a bit, but I'll explain why you would want to do that later. And it's a little more complicated. So I'm going to fire this, and this is not going to work, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Nope, real quick. Alright. So I just fire this off. This is a common problem you may have. Where does that? You see, so basically what happened there is you couldn't see, I'll lagging a bit. The sand stacked up to here, and it actually hybrided here. Now this can mean a few things. Your sand's supposed to be up to this block, and your hybrid sand should be landing there. So disable your one shot and see that it's making this kind of stack. That's how it should look. And the reason that last shot didn't work was because, give me a second. It can be one of two things. Either you have too much power or too little power. In this case, I have too much power. So right here, let me just take off these top 2 layers, and I'm pretty confident that it will work, if I'm not mistaken. So took off a little bit of power there. And yeah, okay. Give me a second, guys. I'm sorry, I haven't used this thing in a while. Or I'm sorry about that, guys. Me being me, I had this piece of redstone here destroyed, which actually is responsible for the red sand, and I kind of like barely even know my own fucking cannon for whatever reason, so I destroyed that. Yeah, but anyways, make sure you have that redstone there. Well, of course, this isn't your guys' cannon. Anyways, this is the same amount of power. Taking off 2 things, and this should work fine now. And I have my one-shot disconnected. Oh, I am just full of mistakes. But anyways, as I explained, it does stack like this, so this would technically hybrid. And the actual reason I had to take off power there is because this is down at Y70, and that power is fit to start at about Y90. the one I had on it. So I'll just quickly give you the measurements of that actually, just so you guys can use the same similar power on your cannon. Now let me go inside the barrel. So at Y90, you're going to want to be using 2 sides of 10. So basically 20 TNT if you're going off the same ticks I'm using. If you want to experiment with your own amount of ticks, your own amount of power, go ahead. It's actually probably better to do. I'm sure there's better ways to do this than I'm doing. But yeah, anyway, so you saw that stacked fine. I'm just gonna hybrid just because. Gosh, it's laggy. Yeah, as you see that that hybrided fine. Now I'm gonna take it up to higher Y level. I'll show you what it looks like when you don't have enough power. So just bear with me real quick while I dig my way up here. This is just for my convenience sake. These little side pockets. Here, yeah, Y90-ish about. I think that'd actually be one lower. Yeah, 89. So Y90. And then, give me a second. Alright, there you go. I got rid of all that and made in a rather interesting shape. Oh my gosh, that wasn't even my intention. So basically now we're up at Y89-ish. And I'm going to fire this with the same power I used down here at Y70. And you're going to see what it does. Alright, see, that didn't even stack at all. So if you have, like, well, it stacked a bit. It will do this, sorry. If you have 2 little hammer, it will just stack like the, two little hammer, sorry, 2 little upwards, it will stack like that. It will stack like just a little bit, maybe not even half. And of course, not even work at all. So the higher you get, you do need more and more power. If you're gonna make a reverse hybrid, make sure you you test it on a server like MineLink or One Shot, which I feel is a lot better than MineLink, to be honest. This is where I do all my can testing. Yeah, but anyways, I recommend doing a lot of testing to find out exactly what Ys and TNT ratios and stuff like that. Also, forgot to mention this: you can turn really any cannon, like grab a 200 stacker, or grab a 150 stacker, and you can very much easily turn it into a reverse hybrid. The only difference here are the timings on the hammer and slabos and that trapdoor, and that's literally the only difference between this and normal cannon. It's actually pretty simple. Alright, so yeah, now I have the extra power turned on. I'm gonna go ahead and fire and fly up here real quick. And as you see, that did successfully hybrid. So this will carry through for a few layers. I think up until Y about, what do I have over here? Up until Y, hold up, lag. Or up until Y99, this will carry through, and then you have to, oh, that was weird. And then you have to start adding more power and such. So yeah, that did work again. Yeah, that worked again. So you're gonna keep firing, and the thing about reverse hybrids, I don't know why this made a small hole in that first shot. Normally the hole would be out to here-ish, about. So the thing about these, they can only go through about 5 layers without, oh, that's why. Oh, that's why. Okay, never mind. That hole is supposed to be there. Or, yeah. Anyways, they can only go through about 5 layers before you actually have to, what was I saying? I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, before you have to clear the back stacks. And that's just the way TNT works. It can only hybrid a whole 5 blocks out. And that's why what I was saying earlier with you might want a one-shot that scatters downwards, like explodes and then just like some of the one-shots you've seen on my other cannons. Because that way, when you're destroying your backstacks, it takes actually less shots in the long run. So you are going to save yourself quite a bit of TNT by adding a larger one-shot, as in like a larger vertical one-shot. I don't really think there's any way you can make this actual hole itself bigger. But yeah, that's something else you can do if you want to improve on your cannon. Honestly, I should probably add one of those to this one, just because. I'm just gonna fire again, just so you can see it's consistent at these Y levels. So yeah, it's not until Y 99, so that would be one. Yeah, about here-ish, one of these two layers. About here-ish, where you're gonna have to add that little extra like 2 TNT of power, and you might run into that if you're making one on your own. So those are just little things that are very, very easy to fix. These are actually quite simple cannons. Really, it's not much more complicated than a normal cannon would be. So yeah, that's basically it, really. That's all I can really say about reverse hybrids. Again, like I said, very, very simple cannons. Pretty easy to use, pretty easy to understand. If you do still have any questions or like ratios or I don't know, or ideas even, in the comments, just make sure to comment if you have any questions or anything. If you need some help, I'll make sure to get back to you. And yeah, that's really it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys come back to see this series every Wednesday. I am sticking to that, uploading a How to Can video every Wednesday until I run out of things to talk to, of course. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that crap, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.